What I'm going to show you how to do today is ship one of these suckers. This is the before and this is the after out of that. Before you even go and buy a box, you need to have dimensions, right? Because you need to know what kind of box to buy. So is it any square, any box? Is it going to turn into a rectangle that's all pretty and neat like this? No, it's not. You got to know what you're doing. So number one is that you measure your product. This one is 30 by 7 by 18. So check this out. When you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, I don't care where you get your boxes, but you have to know what box to get, right? Instead of just bending boxes and trying a bunch of them until you get the dimensions you want, because you don't want to do the math or don't know how to do the math, I'm going to show you. Remember, this was 30 by 18, 7 1/4 or something. Okay, so what we're going to do now is you're going to look at this. It's 24 by 18 by 18. So number one thing we need to know is this. The height of our monitor was 18. This one has 18 inches in height as well. We're going to verify. There you go, 18. So this is a keeper. So we're going to keep this one, 18 inches. This is our height. Okay, so what happens now is that you have two other sides to this box. One side is 24 inches and the other side is 18 inches. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to extend it that way. I'm going to make the square become a rectangle or a larger rectangle. So I'm going to make it bigger, right? So what I want to do is the smaller side, which is the 18 inches, is the one that's going to extend. So what I do now is that anytime that this is going to work, in order for you to keep the integrity of the box, you're going to have to half it. That means, half of that. So what's half of 18 is 9 inches. So now your width is going to end up being 9 inches. But what happens to the other 9 inches? Where the hell do they go? That's what increases the box. So now those 9 inches get added on to your 24. So 24 plus 9 is 33 inches. So now your length is 33, your width is 9, and your height is 18. That is exactly what the box is going to be like. Well, not exactly, because sometimes you get all wonky or whatever, but for the most part, that's what it's going to be like, because you can't with math. It's just math. Anytime that you go, look at the dimensions and always remember the side that you're extending, that is the side that you're going to half, and you're going to add it to the other side, not the height. I pre-cut these, by the way, mind you, because I wanted to cut on time, but I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. What you will need is a marker or a marking tool. A pen is fine too, a knife to cut, and preferably a scorer. And the reason I do a scorer because it makes it easier for you to bend the box without getting it all jacked up. We said that we're gonna extend this side, right? The height is fine. The height, leave it alone. Don't mess with the height. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get our tape measure and we're gonna measure half of it. We already know it's 9 inches, and I know that, I get that. But you have to mark it on the inside like this, because if you don't mark it, you're gonna get it off. If you're off by 1 inch, your box is gonna be like a trapezoid instead of a rectangle, and that's not what you want. You want an actual rectangle to keep the integrity of the box. So here, 9. So we're gonna mark it. In this case, I'm gonna mark it with the scorer. So I would have marked it here. Boom. Flip it to the other side. Let's do 9 again. And this is already marked and cut, but I'm gonna show you exactly step by step. Mark it again. That's 9 right there. Flip it to the bottom side or top side, wherever you started from. Use the inside of the box, not the outside like this. The reason for that is because this is gonna be the true size right here of what actually fits in the box. Okay, so we mark it 9 right there. Other side, boom, boom, boom. Here you go, 9 right there. Awesome. So what do we do now? We have to score just a little bit right there, like that. Score on the other side, flip it over, score it a little bit, and score it a little bit. The reason you're scoring is because it's a guide. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna make it into a rectangle, right? If you don't score it, it makes it really difficult for it to bend. So all you do is you go to your scoring area. Can you see? Awesome. So right here, look, you're gonna bend it. You're gonna bend it in. You bend the other side. You're gonna hold, you can put your fingers like that, hold them in place. And now, look at that. It becomes a rectangle. You would do this to the other side. Again, like I said, this is already scored. So this is easy and it moves around easy. But once you do both sides, you're already into a rectangle like this, right? Now, what comes next? Well, look at this. I can't work like this. This is so what do? You gotta hold it together. Put the inside flap, the ones that go inside first, like this, like a normal box, and then flaps down and flaps down. You cannot put one down, then one big one, then one big one, and one little one. Don't do that. First of all, it's awkward. It's harder to tape. It looks like just don't do that. So all you do is you put one whole side down, put the other whole side down, and then hold it in place right there. Now you grab your tape, in this case, I'm using this big heavy thing because it holds my tape down. One on the side, one towards the middle, and one on this side. Okay, this is not gonna ship like this. It's just holding it for you. Now you grab your tape. I have eBay tape. Whoops. And I have clear tape because I do work on Amazon and eBay, but these are for eBay. So therefore, I'm using my freebie tape that they gave me. One across. Now everything is held in place. Second, you're gonna wrap this like a gift. You put half of the tape on the box, half of the tape dangling like this. You fold in to make these diagonal lines like that, and then you fold down. Rub it a little bit so you can make sure that it's all stuck. Look at that. Awesome. Do it again. Fold in, fold down. Fold in, fold down. Fold in, fold down. You know what? You get the picture. Now we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna do it the long way. I'm a righty, so I'm gonna switch it over like this. All the way. Half of the tape on the box, half of the tape dangling. Fold in, fold in. You're gonna get a little bit of wrinkles here and there because this is long, so you can't really get it all at once. But just start on one side and keep folding down until all of it goes. Now, look at this. There is a problem right here. There's a hole. It's not very tough. This is gonna be an issue with shipping. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna cover it just for now. We're gonna do something else later, but cover it. Now what we're gonna do is, this is a very small edge because the tape is only that width, 2 inches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend the tape so it can grab more surface area and more surface area. That helps maintain the tape on there and for the box not to, you know, spread open. We're gonna do this. We're just placing half of the tape on the previous tape. There we go, all the way down. Next one. All the way down. Now, do you have to do that? No, you don't. You really don't. The tape works fine, but I do it because it makes the box tougher. Once you got the bottom done or top, it doesn't really matter how. I always prefer doing the bottom first so you can know what's up and what's down. Flip it over. We're gonna do the same thing, but, okay, well first, let me get this out of the way because I need space to work. There we go. Look at this. This was by design too. If you notice, there's space here, 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 and here. I'm gonna put packing materials here, 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 and here. There is so much packing materials inside this box already that it'll be fine. However, it's a little more protected. And the customer, when they get it, they're like, damn, they went all out. Super well packed. So in case something does happen, if it breaks, they are gonna tell the shipper, because we do have insurance on this, they're gonna tell them, man, this was really well packed. So why should you not pay, you know, why should FedEx not pay me or UPS or USPS? And it's much easier to win a case when you go all out for the customer. You always do the best for your customers. I'm gonna put that sucker in there. This is from Lowe's. This is, I think they call it, I don't remember what they call it. This is contractor paper. You can get it at Lowe's. If you buy them in 4 packs, you get them for way cheaper. They give you, you know, the bulk discount, the contractor discount. So I always buy these and I have a bunch in stock. All you do is you tear a little bit and put it on one side. Remember, these don't fold neatly, you know, like it's not a, you know, like, oh, let me do this. Let me just put it real neat. Like, no, you're supposed to crumble it. It'll protect your box, your item. So you stick a little bit of it in there, just about to the center. I'm not gonna fill the whole thing either, by the way. Cut another piece, go to the other side. Now, this is sometimes, it's always, if you have a second set of hands, it's always best to do it at the same time. Because if not, you crumble one side and it pushes all the way to the end. So now this side is exposed to brunt force when they're towing it around. So what you want to do is, you know, if you can do it at the same time, do it. If not, push against it, shove that sucker in there. Now we're going to do the other sides. This is a lot bigger. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do it in 2 sections. This one. Now I'm going to do the opposite, the other side like this, because, hold on, get in there. Because now it gives me space to fill on the other ones. Again, if you only fill one side, you're gonna push it all the way over there. You're gonna piss yourself off. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to do anything. Next. And one more. Now, I don't know what your margins are. This has way big margins. So you would have to have known already if you can afford to put this much, like packing paper, the box, the tape, all that comes into play, right? So you would have to have known that. My margins are super huge on this, so I don't care. And I sold 2. Anyways, You squeeze them a little bit. My recommendation, and I know that a lot of people probably gonna be talking saying stuff in the comments, which is fine by me, by the way. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I am a seasoned pro. I've been doing this for a very long time, and this is not my first time shipping out an LCD screen or picture frames or artwork or vintage stained glass, which I've shipped a ton of. So I know what I'm doing. You see this? It's bulky, right? You don't want it to do that because when FedEx, UPS, or, sorry about the light, I got an automatic light up there. So it shuts off if I'm not moving, which is crazy because I am moving. But anyways, if FedEx, UPS, or USPS tries to stack these somewhere and they're all bulky like this and they're all wobbly, you're going to piss them off and they're going to be like, and they start shoving your packages around. So you want to make it as easy as possible, as shipping friendly as possible so that they can respect your package. Push these down a little bit. You're not going to jump on them. You're not going to have your kids stomp on them. That's not what you're doing here. What people have told me is if you push on them, won't you break the screen? Okay, bro. Like if you don't think that this, if your packaging can't handle this, don't ship it, because I guarantee you that all the shippers are going to do that and much worse. Push it down. Next. Push it down. Even if you have to move, if you have to put your hands in here and spread this around or whatever, fine, do that. You get the hint, right? Okay. Down. So now we're gonna close this. Flaps down. We close one side, one complete side. Sometimes I have to use my knees, put it together like this because of the packing, but it's all good. So we're gonna try to get it as close to the edge as possible. Because of the nature of what we're doing, we're shifting a box that is perfectly cut by machines into a ghetto box that's cut by us. The dimensions are not gonna be 100% the same. Be mindful of that. Push this together. Tape in the middle, tape on the edge. Now, one in the middle. That tapes everything down. Since I already explained the other side, you're gonna see me do it a little bit faster. So tape sides, tape side. This is gonna be an issue. Look, the flap versus the side. If you wanna tape it over, it's only a 2-inch tape. This is what happens, that's just what it is. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna do your best to put half on, half off, fold in, fold down. And yeah, it's gonna look sometimes, and it's fine. Most customers don't care as long as you give them a good deal, it'll be fine. We're gonna extend the area of the tape. Extend it again. You are almost done. Remember, there's a hole here, right? Because we partly taped the other one. What I recommend doing is that you're gonna go all the way around, and I'm gonna show you why right now. One, go this. The tape is essentially taped on itself. If there's a lot of shifting go around, the tape is gonna pull on itself. So it's not just gonna, like this can untape, like this side can just go whoop, and then it can just come apart. This can't because it's taped on itself. So it's pulling and pulling and pulling. I mean, unless you really pull on it, then it'll tear, but it's a lot harder to tear like that. We're gonna do one more. There is no edging, there is no cuts here, but just because it's gonna match and it's gonna protect the sides the same. Put the box over. There you go. Look at that. Look at this. It's great. If it's a little spongy on the sides, just push it down. Other sides, push it down. Let's do one other thing because I just noticed it right now. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We are gonna extend the tape area here as well. Half on, half off. This is an expensive monitor. I wanna make sure that it gets there in one piece. Like that. And I don't always use this much tape, by the way, but I'm just teaching you how to do it well so that you don't lose sales. You don't have to be dealing with customer service trying to get your money back from the insurance company when they break this. So that's all I'm doing. These are your finished products. What do you have to do now? All you have to do is weigh them, measure them. You do not take the measurements that we took earlier. Don't take them to heart because they might be off a little bit. Let me just show you real quick. This is how appropriately to measure because that's how they're gonna measure. And if you're off, they're gonna send you some bill later charging you extra because you didn't measure it correctly. So you go all the way to the end. All the way to the end. If it has an awkward bump, this is why you use this because it has to go over all the bumps and they're gonna take that into account as length, width, and height. This is 33 by, look, check this out. Look at this. Remember we said it was 18 high, right? Look at that. That's 18.5. You cannot put 18. The reason for that is because it's gonna be wrong. They're gonna charge you. Let me get my trusty marker. We already know it's 33. What I like to do is that I label it 33 by, I label it on the box because the shipping label is gonna go over it anyways, so that I can know when I'm putting it into eBay so I can print out the label. I already have my measurements. 33 by 19. It's 18.5, but you can't do that. As you already know, you have to get the next inch up. So it's 19. Oh, we already did that. 33 by 19. Oh, and the width. So look at this. You can't get it from there. You got to get it from the The furthest edge this is fatter over here. So the fattest edge, look at that, 9.5. So what do? All the way down by 10. Once you're done with that, you are done. At the beginning, it's gonna be very difficult for you to do this quickly. You're gonna feel awkward because of making new boxes. It's just awkward and sometimes they look like crap, but it's pretty nice. And for the amount of money they saved, they'll be fine. They're gonna love it. All we gotta do is ship them out and that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, I'm Damien with Resolutions. My goal is always to help you make more money, whether it be by saving money on boxes, shipping faster, whatever it is, I want to get you there. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment on the bottom, even if it's to talk. It's totally fine. Let's get to it and have the best day.